On the wedding day, the scumbag secretly married 2 wives without his fiancée knowing. He claimed that the scheming woman was his true love. Enraged, the woman chose to marry his father instead. She went from being his fiancée to his mother. The next day, unaware, the scumbag was out shopping with the scheming woman. He saw the woman preparing gifts and mocked her for not being able to live without him. He threatened to divorce her if she didn't obey. Then he raised his hand to slap her, trying to intimidate her. But in the next moment, his hand was slashed by a sword. His father's words would soon shock him. It turns out, everyone knew the scumbag, the heir to the Duke's family, liked the scheming woman. However, the scheming woman couldn't bear him children due to the family's difficulty in having heirs. The old lady had to break up their relationship and sought a woman with a lucky constitution, the daughter of the richest man. To ensure she wouldn't be bullied, the richest man clearly stated the scumbag could marry her, but he couldn't take concubines. The old lady immediately agreed and promised she'd never let the woman suffer. But on the wedding day, the scumbag secretly brought the scheming woman to the ceremony. He publicly declared that the scheming woman would be treated equally to his wife. The woman, shocked by his betrayal, announced she wanted to call off the wedding. However, the scumbag, wanting an heir, refused to let her go. He said it was his fortune that a merchant's daughter like her could marry him. Using his status as heir, he planned to force her into marriage. At that moment, the old lady angrily stepped forward and slapped him. She had just promised not to let the woman be bullied, yet this happened before they even entered the house. She scolded the scumbag for his actions, saying it would endanger the family's lineage. But the scumbag was convinced the woman wouldn't leave him because of the Duke's wealth. He then left with the scheming woman. Seeing that the scumbag wouldn't listen, the old lady, full of regret, was about to agree to the woman's annulment. However, the scumbag's aunt suddenly suggested the woman marry his father instead. The old lady immediately saw the sense in this. After all, the scumbag was not the Duke's biological son. The Duke was only 10 years older than the woman. Marrying him could still provide an heir for the family. The woman had heard of the Duke's military achievements and his reputation as a fierce general. Additionally, bringing her dowry back home would subject her parents to criticism. Thus, she immediately agreed to marry the Duke. That night, unbeknownst to the scumbag, the woman entered the Duke's room. When they met, both were stunned. The Duke had been seriously injured in battle once and had been saved by the woman, who also gave him food. From that moment, the Duke had carried the image of the woman in his heart. This meeting felt like fate. They couldn't resist and soon became a real couple. The next day, the Duke brought the woman to offer tea to the old lady. The old lady, delighted, handed the woman the family jade bangle. Since 2 days later would be the woman's return ceremony, the Duke asked her to wait at the treasure pavilion. After finishing a military matter, he would join her to buy return gifts. However, when the woman arrived at the pavilion, she saw the scumbag and the scheming woman choosing gifts. Unaware, the scumbag assumed she was there to buy gifts for him. He mocked her, thinking she couldn't live without him and was trying to make amends by buying him gifts. The woman smiled and replied, though she was buying a gift for her husband, he wasn't the scumbag. The scumbag thought she was just venting and, hoping to win her favor, bought the most expensive items in the pavilion. He expected the woman, the daughter of the richest man, to pay. Thinking she would immediately pay, he was shocked when she refused to spend a single coin. He was left embarrassed as he had no money. Furious, he claimed that as his wife, her dowry naturally belonged to him. But the woman responded, calling him her unfilial son. Enraged, the scumbag